So, transformation in education. I'm going to do this in a couple of parts. There's a lot to cover here, and there are obviously different perspectives that related to education. Whether you're a parent, whether you're a teacher, whether you have kids, maybe you don't have kids, whether you are in school. So it's kind of going to, I want to set it up in a way that you're going to be able to just absorb it and get the most out of it. So I'll start off by saying you probably want to listen to it more than once. It's a bit like a puzzle. It's a big picture, and just like with a puzzle, you kind of need to start with the cornerstones, the corner pieces, and build out the framework, the border, and then work towards the middle and focus on the individual pieces, individual components as you go along. And so that's kind of how it's laid out. So I go somewhat slowly. I realize there are a number of considerations there that might be a little bit unfamiliar or foreign, and that I'm probably going to do some follow-up videos to cover some of the individual components, the individual pieces, because it's a big challenge. And there are a lot of moving parts, and it's particularly difficult to consume, to integrate, to really absorb and cognize the information when, for the most part, people are busy, right? People are in what they know. People are used to what's familiar, and it can be a little bit to wrap your head around. So take your time with it. It's okay if it's going on in the background, let's say, when you're doing something else. It's designed that way. So, you can watch it like a movie. You can just have it on while you're doing other things, and but you're going to want to listen to it multiple times, because I'm sure that certain components are going to take a little while to land, and some of them will embed themselves as a concept in your awareness, but are going to take a little bit of time to cognize. So in general, the way it's laid out though, is that I look a little bit at what's happening, what has happened, and what we're moving towards, how we're going to get there, how we're not going to get there, and what that's going to mean for each of you individually, regardless of how directly involved or how tangential your life is when it comes to the education system. Because what we're talking really about here is our future, right? We're talking about development of kids. We're talking about taking a very inefficient, costly system that's producing a lot of collateral damage, let's call it, when it comes to our kids, right? There's way too much depression. There's way too much addiction. There's way too much suicide. There's way too much avoidable. It's all avoidable. It's all avoidable. But it's awareness, it's understanding, and it's looking for and being aware of new opportunities and new synergies. And so I'm going to talk about all of these things on a number of different levels in part 2 of this. And then I suspect I'll probably break things down further in subsequent videos. Okay, so I'll leave you with that, and enjoy. And by all means, questions, any further discussion, conversation you want to have, by all means, reach out. And we're all kind of, in a real way, this is kind of what we're all in together. So there's a lot of work to do. It's a pretty big challenge, but we can have far more success than failure if we can line up with common values and common understanding. Okay, enjoy.